Welcome! I'm Olympia, a psychotherapist, coach, former professor, and founder of Aligned Love. If you've ever found yourself saying, the connection felt so strong, so why didn't it work? Or asking, why do I keep choosing the wrong people? You're not alone. Most of us were taught to chase chemistry, not compatibility. Chemistry can be intoxicating. It's spark without structure. Compatibility is the soil that allows love to take root. When two people share aligned values, emotional safety, and similar relational pacing, love becomes less chaotic and more sustainable. Intensity doesn't equal intimacy. Compatibility equals clarity. It's how you stop mistaking adrenaline for alignment. That's exactly why I created the compatibility map. In this mini course, you'll learn why chemistry isn't enough, how fantasy love clouds perception, and how to begin mapping what true compatibility actually looks like. You'll also learn my red flag decoder so you can recognize whether you're moving toward fantasy love or aligned love. This is your first step toward the kind of love that doesn't just excite your nervous system. Lesson 1, fantasy versus alignment. In psychology, we talk about fantasy connections, the illusion of closeness built on projection and longing. Sometimes you even see the red flags, but your nervous system targets them, knowing it will be up for one hell of a ride. This doesn't mean you're masochistic. It means your body is mistaking intensity for safety. Your nervous system learned to associate unpredictability with connection, so chaos feels like chemistry. It feels magnetic, but often leaves you anxious, overanalyzing, or waiting for potential. The spike of anxiety, the drop of relief, the chase, the waiting, those sensations mimic the rhythm of early attachment. The intermittent presence of a caregiver who was loving one moment and distant the next. That loop wires you to equate activation with aliveness. So when someone triggers that same high-stakes cycle, the hope, the hunger, the ache, your body doesn't register danger. It registers home. But healing begins when you realize what once felt like home was actually hypervigilance. And what feels boring at first, steady attention, calm communication, emotional availability, is actually your nervous system learning what peace feels like. Aligned love is grounded in shared values, safety, and mutual availability. It builds slower, but it lasts longer. The goal isn't to stop feeling deeply, it's to channel that depth into relationships that can hold it. Ask yourself, does this connection regulate me or destabilize me? That one question can save you years. So grab a pen or your notes app. 1, write down your top 5 values in love. Honesty, emotional availability, curiosity, spirituality, growth. 2, circle the 2 you most often compromise for chemistry. 3, ask yourself, what did it cost me when I abandoned these values? Compatibility begins where self-abandonment ends. Every time you override a core value to keep connection, you reinforce fantasy love instead of aligned love. When you honor your values, you attract people who honor them too. This exercise forms the first layer of our compatibility map, your personal blueprint for sustainable love. Remember, chemistry attracts, but shared values sustain. The red flag decoder. Now that we've clarified your values, let's look at your patterns, because love doesn't repeat by accident. Red flags are repeating signals of misalignment, the same story told through different characters. 3 categories to decode. 1, personal red flags, when you abandon yourself, staying silent to keep the peace, rationalizing pain, or over-functioning to earn love. 2, partner red flags. Their consistent behaviors showing emotional unavailability, inconsistency, contempt, or lack of empathy. 3, pattern red flags. The dance between you. Hot and cold cycles. Love bombing followed by withdrawal. The ache of waiting to be chosen. Ask yourself, do I lose myself here? Do they meet me halfway? Is this cycle familiar? One red flag in isolation might not mean much, but when you see the pattern, you reclaim your power. Nervous system compatibility. Compatibility isn't just psychological, it's physiological. Every love story is also a nervous system story. For a secure partner, daily check-ins feel grounding. For an avoidant partner, that same contact can feel suffocating. For an anxious partner, space can trigger panic. It's not about who's right or wrong, it's about regulation. True compatibility happens when both partners can co-regulate, when neither person's safety requires the other to shrink. Ask yourself, do I feel safe with this person or constantly on edge? Your body knows the truth before your mind names it. Build your mini-map. This is where you start designing love consciously, from your heart and your logic, not your wounds. Your mini compatibility map is your conscious ideal, your heart's definition of what peace, partnership, and reciprocity should feel like. 1, write your top 3 values in love. 2, identify your attachment style. Anxious, avoidant, secure, or disorganized. 3, name 1 repeating red flag pattern you've noticed in past relationships. 4, imagine how a compatible partner, emotionally available, curious, and attuned, would respond differently in that same moment. When you do this, you're creating your roadmap for aligned love. Your mini-map is the love your highest self would choose, not the one your nervous system chases. Meet your imago. Now that you've built your ideal from consciousness, let's meet your ideal from the unconscious. In imago relationship theory, your imago, Latin for image, is the internal template of love your nervous system built in childhood. It fuses the positive and negative traits of your early caregivers into an image of the kind of partner who feels most familiar. We are magnetized to that familiarity, not because it's good for us, but because it's unfinished. The psyche longs to repair the wounds it couldn't heal in childhood and seeks a partner who can recreate the same emotional landscape. That is why we feel that electric pull toward people who are unavailable or inconsistent. The nervous system recognizes the pattern and says, this time I'll get it right. But the paradox is this. You're not drawn to the red flag because it's safe. You are drawn because it's charged. Like a bull, you see the waving red and chase it, hoping to fix it or finally master it until you're exhausted. That's trauma chemistry disguised as destiny. 1, close your eyes and remember your primary caregivers. Think of the people who raised or shaped you. Parents, grandparents, or anyone emotionally significant. Ask yourself, what did I most need from you that I never received? Maybe it was comfort, validation, freedom, or consistent affection. 2, list their positive and negative traits from your child's perspective. Write down what you loved and what hurt. For example, you were playful but unpredictable. You were protective but critical. Circle the traits that affected you the most. 3, highlight the traits that repeat in your adult relationships. These are your imago traits, the emotional signatures your nervous system searches for. Notice the pattern. You may keep meeting different people who carry the same energy. 4, combine everything into one portrait, your imago map. Write a short paragraph beginning with, the kind of person I'm most drawn to is blank. Include both the light and the shadow. This is your nervous system's definition of home. 5, name the opposites, your healing traits. Next to each painful trait, write what your inner child truly needed instead. Critical, actually accepting. Absent, present. Unpredictable, safe. This becomes your emotional wish list, the qualities that actually heal. 6, find your lost, denied, and disowned self. Ask yourself, which parts of me were not welcome growing up? Maybe it was anger, tenderness, ambition, or vulnerability. These are the pieces you suppressed to stay loved, and the ones you now chase in others. Circle the parts that feel ready to come home. 7, compare your 2 maps. Lay your mini map beside your imago map. Your mini map shows what your adult self wants. Safety, consistency, partnership. Your imago map shows what your child self craves. Intensity, familiarity, repair. Where they overlap, there's potential for growth. Where they diverge, that's where the healing begins. So just pause here, take a breath, look at your maps, and ask yourself, which traits still feel magnetic but unsafe? What need am I really chasing when I feel that pull? Which part of me is this attraction trying to return to me? The answers reveal your path back to wholeness. You're not trying to fix the other person anymore. You're meeting the younger version of you who still longs to be seen. When you understand your imago, you stop mistaking intensity for intimacy. You begin to choose partners who feel safe rather than familiar. Healing isn't the absence of passion, it's passion that no longer hurts. You've just built the foundation of your compatibility map. And you have met your imago. You now understand the love your heart and logic long for, the love your nervous system keeps chasing, and the path to bridging those two into conscious partnership. If you're ready to stop running toward red flags and start feeling peace in partnership, Join me inside aligned love. Your heart deserves alignment, not adrenaline.